on the internet.
Welcome to Retro Station 1989. I'm Commander Dan, the commander and lone inhabitant of the Retro Station. Now we're going to be doing a series called License to Play. A series about video games adapted from some other property. Movies, TV shows, toys, and in some cases, commercial mascots. Today we're going to determine if a classic film can translate into a classic game. What film? Why,
the classic Jaws. Developed for LJN by Atlas and Westone in 1987, this was one of the set of games I call my first five. The first 5 games I ever owned for the NES. Now this title is based on the film of the same name. Jaws is... Wait. Hold on, stop. No, this ain't right. No. No, not the beloved blockbuster Universal film. No, not the one from the 70s. Sorry. No.
Sorry. No, it's not the classic blockbuster you're thinking of. It is Jaws, but it's the Jaws we're talking about here is the one that was a jumping off point for the Jets. It was about the family of Chief Brody, the hero from the first movie, suffering tragic loss at every turn. The kid's getting eaten by a fucking shark on Christmas. Being menaced by another shark while Michael Caine tries to bring the old girl down in a goddamn plane. It was not a summer blockbuster. It was kind of a stinker. In fact, you might say a movie so bad, it was personal.
That's right, it's Jaws, The Revenge. This time, it's personal. This film is notorious for both being cheesy and likely the reason Michael Caine was blacklisted from major films for years to follow. Our story follows Ellen Brody. You remember, the wife of Chief Brody and mother of little Sean and Michael, the adorable kids from Jaws, the good Jaws. Well, Chief Brody dies at the beginning of the film of a heart attack, and his son, Sean, gets his arm torn the fuck off by another great white shark. Again, way far from home, and Ellen takes the hint. She doesn't hesitate to ditch Amity Island for someplace safe from shark attacks, right?
Wrong.
After the funeral, she demands her son Michael get the hell out of the water, since sharks find the Brodies delicious, apparently. Well, he's a marine biologist, and his mother's terrified for him, so of course he invites her to come to the Bahamas, home of every kind of frickin' murder animal that exists in the goddamn ocean, to introduce her to Michael Caine and his crew of salty dogs, where they will finally get their revenge on, Jaws.
So, Jaws. I don't have the manual, but I'll show some screenshots here in a second. The manual doesn't go into detail anyway. I have a copy of it, a PDF, but it doesn't, tell you anything. It's a generic, weird story. But I'm going to go with the facts as presented here. This is basically Jaws the Revenge. The game hits most of the major beats of Jaws. You have them bombing sea life from a seaplane. You've got them strobing the shark to get it to jump out of the water. You've got them stabbing the animal with a boat. And finally, more than anything else, you got Michael Caine. Now, the first 5 I mentioned earlier, in case you were wondering, those were Ninja Gaiden, Rampage, Back to the Future, Friday the 13th, and Jaws. So, of the first 5 games I owned, 1 was a classic. And the rest were decidedly not. Is it any good? Well, let's take a look.
The game was developed by Atlas and programmed by Westone for LJN. Yeah, I know. The Rainbow of Death, the purveyors of pure shite in a world of clean diapers. We all know their reputation. But do we really? Folks on YouTube have influenced you fine people into thinking that everything LJN produced was a mountain of crap. But it's not entirely so. This game is an example of a game being pinned down by its peers. Its very notorious peers, and being painted as bad with the same broad brush. And it's really not deserved. Jaws is a single-player adventure game set in the Caribbean Sea where you, the player, are tasked with the mission of hunting and killing the meanest killer in the ocean. A Jaws. This is a lot like an RPG. You have to level up and face stronger enemies and eventually go head-to-head with Jaws itself. You start in the overworld, and the music is tense and does a job of setting the scene. Your goal in this overworld is to travel between 2 ports, powering up your ship weapons along with your harpoon, but without fail, you will hit something and need to investigate. See your little blonde avatar? That's Michael Kite. He has a harpoon gun, and he needs to skewer all of the little undersea enemies to gather up conch shells, which is the currency of El Caribe, apparently. Not gold, not ducats or dollars or pieces of 8. We're talking conchs, folks. Conchs by the shell load, by the pound. But deposit a couple conch shells into the port, and you'll get your transmitter. And thereafter, a bunch of power boosts. Now, the manual doesn't tell you certain things, like, hey, there's a mini-sub with bombs and torpedoes. You know, the most powerful item in the game. It doesn't mention how you get it or when. It's to the north of the starting point, and don't miss it. Or the fact that you really can't drain Jaws enough because he heals back up to get to the end of the game without at least power level 5 harpoons or the sub itself. There's also a bonus screen for more conch shells when you blast the living hell on a jellyfish swimming in formation and collect those shells for being accurate, which helps raise your power. Back and forth between the ports, and ultimately, with a little perseverance and a lot of luck, you'll fight Jaws. And I won't spoil the ending for you, but the game is beatable. I did it just the other night. So, what we have is a graphically passable, fluid playing, and challenging game, but does it have a license to play? Yeah! I mean, the game is one of those hidden gems, in my opinion. It's got enough arcade action and difficulty to present a challenge to gamers from any era of gaming, and enough charm with the license itself to keep the license to play. Try this game. I don't have a manual for it, but this is one time you're not really going to need one. So, pick it up. I mean, I guarantee you no one's been hoarding this to scalp these for any fucking price, so you're going to get it for $5-10 tops with shipping. So today, Jaws on NES definitely has a license to play. And if you like what you saw today, hit that like button, help me out, and let me know what kind of content you like down in the comments below. If you disagree with me, go ahead, shoot your mouth off, I'll talk back at you. I mean, it's the only thing I got for entertainment up here in the old retro station anyway. You know, every Monday we're going to have a new episode, and I look forward to diving into my pile of licensed games, even if the game I come out with is more a public turd rather than a hidden gem. Anyway, more than that, remember to always stay retro. Peace.